forced and it's gotta happen. Faye decided to not go to this party because she hates everybody there, except for her sister, and doesn't want to pretend to be something she's not. Beyonce drop. Something else that is important. Prophet somehow disrupts the queen. I don't know that we're going to do it with like a box shutting this time, but I think that
I want to slam the box.
we might.
I like the box.
We might do that, but we also might like have you fumble into the queen or something. We're going to come up with something really interesting and different. I don't know that it needs to be like, oops, I spilled my drink on the queen. I think it should be something like small enough that a normal person would be like, okay, I'm fine. But the queen is like, no, you're dead. You're dying.
How about she wears a similar outfit?
Except for the time that it has to happen at the end of the party and not the beginning of the party. So we'll have to figure it out.
Just gets into her dancing zone.
So that leads us into stalk and murder of one of the palace charges. It happens in public. Everyone in the background will be mildly reactive, okay? You're probably taking some notes. I wonder what I could do with the body at the end of this. You're like, hopefully nothing else breaks out, but I've got my eye on it. Same for you, really. You're passed out in a corner somewhere, too drunk to really notice because you're too young. If you are still there, which I don't really think you guys are here to witness the murder, I don't know that you're necessarily there for it. Or maybe you run off or something. We haven't decided. You guys will be, I don't know how you feel. We'll have to decide at the time how you feel that your character would feel. This is just all in a day's work, and you're just here because he's here. So all of your characters have reactions that are applicable, but they're small, and any movement that's like big in the background is going to upstage what's happening in the foreground. At the end of this, when Prophet is now dead, Bishamontan will come in and take you off to heaven.
Okay.
Aww. Nobody sees Bishamontan. Everybody will be frozen in the background, which also they're dead. There will be no light in fake cigarettes. I'm so sorry.
But we can get the fake cigarettes from Belle's dad's store.
Fake cigarettes are great, but I will tell you one thing. A flash of light in the background from a false cigarette makes it look like there's movement going on when no one should be seeing Bishamontan and the dead.
You can always tuck it though.
Prophet, I want it to be like, I want it to be a shock to the audience. Okay? So like there's like everything leading up to this, it explains our characters.
Yes.
No, maybe Autumn would drag Prophet, but you'll be gentle. No dropping. But then it will be like a short 2/8 count traveling duet with him though. So you can't drop Prophet anymore because you have to like be trusting. You're fine.
For now.
You can handle a little bit.
Okay. For now.
Queen Aki, while it's established beforehand, is a real predator. And this is where we get to see that. She stalks you in a way that says, like, you're game to be hunted. And, you know, like a leopard. Pretty much.
Can I be a gazelle? Can I just like dress up? Just like one.
I'll get you
Idea for this scene. Do you want me and Kai to block the exit so she bumps into us and then has to go?
Yes, I do. Mary and I have talked about this. We want it to be even less campy than it originally was.
I mean, because if we block the exit and she bumps into us.
We're thinking that there may be a time where Shelley, I'm laughing at this because you're related now, where you and Shelley hold Prophet on both sides and prevent them from leaving, and like you are like, let me out of here, like I gotta go, and like you're held and murdered. So like let it happen. Let it happen. We want
my fantasies.
Mom, that's awful.
I feel you, girl.
See, that's why she's not in the show.
Keep it in character. Keep it in character. Leave the mom and kid at home. Mary and I have talked. We will take suggestions, of course, but guys, keep at the end of the day, I've got a storyline. Too many cooks will always spoil the pot, and I know what I want to see, okay? And the fight and the struggle will be a little bit more gruesome and a little bit harder to watch than it was the first time. I don't know if you got to see it in rehearsals.
No, I didn't see any of it.
Are we gonna have a viewing party? That might not be a bad idea.
Yes, my sister had a baby during the time we were going to do it
Yeah, no,
before,
no.
so I didn't get to do it. But yeah, we will have something soon where we can watch it and dissect it, and know that we're going to do it even better this time. Okay.
Actually, can I say something?
Yes.
So, for those of you that have seen it before or were in it before, so one of the things that Ashley talked about is before, because she hadn't seen as many plays or as many shows, thinking that the dark stuff was gonna be too dark, and I think she's completely over that now, so one of the things, you know, that I kept talking about and she's ready to do is just, it's gonna be a lot darker. So the idea that, you know, she doesn't just let herself get murdered, but she's trying to get away, and this person is like, no, you just need to die in a horribly painful way because you touched me, or whatever. So the whole thing is a lot more
It's more intense.
violent.
Yes, it's definitely more violent than it ever was before.
So yay for kids and the cats.
I know, it's really funny that those two things are coinciding. Like, more violent and dark, more children.
But more children makes it more of a statement.
Yeah.
Right, it does, it does. And I appreciate you for saying that, Mary, because it is true, like, when you look at the old one, if you got to see it in person, or if you were in it, there are a lot of things that are darker and twisted, and just like more sinister, I would say. We're gonna clear off. I haven't decided if I'm gonna use a song for that or not. The next thing that happens, let's see. Latia, I'm pretty sure I'm having you in this next song. So I'm gonna have you and May off to the side and Faya on stage. This whole time while there's been a party, Faya has been alone at home waiting for her sister. She knows where her sister is, and she's like impatiently like waiting up like a parent, because that's the only adult figure you have in your life. And she's not even that old, but she's older than you. She's worried about you. So being a little bit of a mother hen in this time, you're like, oh my god, this kid that I work with is like passed out. I gotta get her home. So you got her home, and I don't know exactly how we're gonna spin it. We haven't fully decided to share a bed. Maybe you snap out of it a little soon. But you're gonna be kind of off to the side for a moment, and you're gonna tell Faya what happened that she missed at the party. Because basically, someone just got brutally murdered, and you're kind of freaking out about it a little bit yourself. Faya freaks out even more. Like, this is just fuel to the fire that's already been burning for you. It makes you madder, and makes you so pissed off that you're like, I've got to do something. Maybe it's drunk off around, After the story is told, you pretty much kick her out, okay? You're kicked out of the house, and off you go. Or maybe it's not even a house, maybe it's kind of like a cell or a pod in the palace somewhere, more my vision there. You start to come to, snap out of it, you peek over the edge of the stage, which, by the way, my aunt saw the show, and when May was originally throwing up over the edge of the stage in one part or another, my aunt was like, why isn't anybody helping her? She was like, wait, she wasn't throwing up for real, it was just playing out. She actually thought she was puking over the edge of the stage. So apparently it reads really well when you puke over the edge of the stage. So we're gonna work on that. When she's done puking, you might like help her for a second and be like, oh, let me clean that up. But then you're like, what the hell? How could you like be a part of that? You know? You don't see it as, oh my god, I'm so sorry you witnessed a murder. You're like, how are you even?
I told you not to
Why?
go.
Yeah, like I told you not to go. That's the mood here. And you guys will dance together. Not for the first time, but it's a longer dance. And it kind of ends on a weird, sustained note of Faya being so frustrated, and you finally get tired of yelling and screaming. You're just kind of like, I didn't see it. Like you're really not affected by this murder that you're told happened. Like, oh well, but I was snoozing, so whatever. Like, Like what I didn't see me, and I, like all of that. That's kind of Nae's attitude. And really, let's face it, a coping mechanism for someone staying in a position that they shouldn't be staying in. If you pretend it's not happening, then maybe it just isn't. So you two will dance together there in kind of like a standoff, like we're sisters, we love each other, but the tension is really still there, even though you've calmed down from fighting. Off you go. Our next song is in the palace with the king, the queen, brass high, lab, see hum. Alyssa, you're not in this very long, but you're going to be doing some work in here before you're sent away. The protesters from Vivid Motion, okay? So this scene will be tweaked quite a bit. We're going to be doing more combat. We're going to involve people in a different way. I'm not entirely sure that you two are going to be simpering in the corner, maybe for a bit, but you might get a little more involved. I haven't fully decided, and we're going to play with it. But there's a lot more involved combat that we're going to do, because before it was like improvised slow motion punches.
Yeah.
And this is where we get to see the town of oppression coming in and trying to say, no, we won't do this anymore, we won't take it anymore. It's in the album by John Hopkins, it's the next song from the one that we just heard. So there's a really strong flow of beat and everything that sounds similar. This is also where Lab and Queen Aki duet, which will be different because you can't lift my sister. We can certainly try some interesting things though, and shapes. And this is what's interrupted here by the protesters is like a little meeting of the minds. You're there because you sort of have to be. You're there because he's there. But you, and you are there because you have something to say. Maybe you're sick and tired of this western town and you're deciding how you can punish them because they've been a little too loud lately. You want to shut them up. You know what I'm saying? You're there because you're working there. And as things start to pick up in the fight, you're going to be pushed away. Okay? All right. Everybody leave except the king and queen. This next scene is the wrong queen. Wrong queen. This next scene is my own personal laugh and lightheartedness, where Queen Aki is a little bit bored and finally tries to seduce the king. But guess what? The king doesn't like her that way. So eventually the queen storms off. I know we're not waiting for the song. We're not going to let it be quite as rowdy as before. It's still going to hold the essence of you being in charge. But maybe we're going to see. We're going to talk. See how sneaks in and works his magic. And you guys have an epic duet of passion and love. What?
I think I could mind is not appropriate.
Save it when the children are gone.
There will be. This is where we did all of this. This is like me 2.5 years ago. You two love each other. You finally have a moment alone. It's a fun moment for the audience, okay? Because let's face it, things have been pretty depressing up until this point, and any little light we can shine, the better. Off you go.
If that can happen.
If it can happen.
I'm gonna take a
I don't know if I
pause.
agree with that.
We're gonna take a pause. We're gonna take a 5-minute break, and then we're gonna go from Fea's solo. This is taking a little while, and I want to make sure we get every little piece out. So just take literally 5 minutes, and then we're gonna start on the next piece.